I was told that it was just something that Woodleigh had run for a very long time.
Yeah.
That it was sort of the culmination of the students' outdoor education journey at Woodleigh, and that it was a bit of a rite of passage for the kids that came up.
Yeah.
The students are always really excited about it. They're really nervous about being up here. And the staff that we send love being up here as well. They've got a real connection with this environment, and I've got lots of staff that have been coming up here for 15 plus years and constantly keep coming back. So we prepare the kids pretty carefully for something like this. We make sure they've all got their first aid. They learn how to cook and prepare their meals for the trip. They've got to dehydrate their food. They've got to learn how to navigate really well. So that preparation takes quite a long time. And then once they're up here, what's different about this program is that they operate in a small group of 6 or 7, and they operate completely independently. So, which means there's no teacher or adult directly supervising them whilst they're out here.
Yep.
And that means that they've got to make decisions for themselves, and it means that the decisions have got real consequences.
Yeah.
And it's an amazing program for these young adults that are transitioning, into adulthood and transitioning into the senior years of school, for them to be able to complete a 7-day journey in a completely unfamiliar environment on their own. So the students, probably over the 7 days, they will walk over 100 kilometres. They do have 1 day canoeing along the river, which is pretty nice, where they can cool off a little bit and rest their legs. As they're journeying throughout the park, they go through little checkpoints that we set up where they can fill up water, and we use that as a little bit of a safety mechanism as well, so we can make sure that they've gone through those checkpoints and we kind of know where the groups are. And they get up in the morning very, very early. They have some breakfast. It's usually still dark when they're getting up in the morning. It's pretty hot here, so they want to get moving quickly. And then as soon as it's light, we let the group start walking. And their objective for the day is to move through the checkpoints and get themselves to camp. And what happens out there and what they're doing and how they manage themselves is really up to them. Sometimes they'll get a bit lost. That's okay, they have to work it out. Sometimes they'll hit the target exactly on, and that's good for them as well.
Yeah.
But their navigation skills are really important. We don't necessarily have them walking on tracks out here. Quite often they're walking off track or having to cut through the bush, which means they've got to be able to use a map or compass. There's so many things that's special about this environment. The way the water works here is so important, and one of the things that we teach our students is the significance of this place as a Ramsar site for nesting and migrating birds. The way the environment changes throughout the seasons and throughout those flood flows is just, every student that comes up here gets a unique Hattah experience. It's such an important and biodiverse place environmentally. There's the cultural values that exist here that are, when you arrive, you can feel the history in this place, and you can feel the important human connection that's been here for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. And that is absolutely worth saving. This land would have so many stories. And then for us, it's just a great place to come to see a really unique part of Victoria. Victoria's got a really diverse environment type here. We've got beautiful coastline, we've got amazing mountains and alpine environments, we've got rivers, and then we've got this beautiful semi-arid desert type environment for people to be able to explore and see as well. They build a real connection with this place, and the Hattah program and the Hattah environment has got a real mythology at the school. We've got lots of alumni that come back to school for events and to reconnect, and one of the things they always talk about is Hattah. At the Year 12 graduation ceremony and valedictory dinners, Hattah is always one of the things that's spoken about. It's a real rite of passage for our Year 10s. They come back from Hattah quite different, a little bit more responsible, having a little bit more understanding of their direction in life, what they want to do. Their parents talk about them. being a little bit more adult-like at home, which is lovely. And part of it is the experience that they have here, but a lot of it is to do with the environment and just being in this place that at first seems quite difficult to be in and quite harsh, but the more time you spend here, the more beautiful it is. And it's actually quite an easy place to camp in because you can be really lightweight, and you don't have to carry a lot of rain gear or wet weather gear. The students don't even carry shelter. They just sleep out on a tarp under the stars. The students, after they leave Hattah, they are always coming up to me and saying, can we go back? And they even say, can we go back with next year's Year 10s and come back and do it again? I even have a couple of past students that I bring up as staff to help assist with the program because they're so desperate to come back and be a part of it. I would love to be able to run some sort of a program where the students can come back here voluntarily and actively give back to this place and give back to this park. It's given us so much over the years. It'd be amazing to have an opportunity to authentically give back to this environment. I think it's really important for young people to understand how lucky we are in Australia and in Victoria in particular to have beautiful untouched places that we can access and we can go and see and tread very softly while we're here, but that we're actually committed to as a country to protecting and looking after. And we've not only committed to it locally, but we've committed to it internationally, that we are going to protect and look after this place because we know how important it is for the whole world. Actually, there are birds that come and nest here that then go and travel, to Siberia to nest. So we need to look after this place, or there'll be nothing here when they come back. I think lots of research and monitoring is really important to making sure we know what's going on. I think giving humans access to the place, giving people access to the place, builds that the knowledge of and also the passion for it and wanting to care for it. If we completely closed it off, then no one would know about it, and therefore no one would have that sense to care for it. So I think maintaining that human access is important, which is a tricky balance. I know a huge amount has gone into making sure that the water continues to flow into the Hattah area. It's tricky with Murray River flood levels, not being what they were 100 years ago. And it's amazing. And when you see this place in flood, or when it's just after it's been inundated, it is just so beautiful and so different. And the baby emus wandering around and the wildflowers that come out, it just absolutely comes to life. So I think the fact that we now have to intervene humans now have to intervene to make that happen, but that's important, and I think we need to continue to do that.